So the affirmative's proposition is that minimum wage should be given to incarcerated prison workers. However, my side will argue that providing minimum wage is not the right solution to give to prison workers. So for my first claim, providing minimum wage will not be enforced properly within the prison system because prison companies have the ability to manipulate the whole prison labor system itself. So I'll be talking about two ways how prison companies have changed the prison labor system. So for my one way that prison companies have changed the system is that they restrict a lot of prisoners who can work, but they don't give them the job. I'll explain it. So PICP, which is Prison Industry Enhancement Certification Program, objectives are to generate products and services that enable inmates to make a contribution to society, help offset the cost of their incarceration, compensate crime victims, and support their families, and to reduce prison idleness, increase inmate job skills, and improve prospects for a successful inmate transition to community upon release. Sounds good, right? However, according to Shannon and Sima in the article "Social Work and Prison Labor: A Restorative Model," they found that the FPI, which is a government company, employed 12,278 inmates in 2015, but fewer than 100 of those inmates work for programs certified under PICP. So they have a lot of, so imagine this, imagine this like the working prison laborers, right? But they only give them a little, like a small percentage of them have the advantage to work in programs such as PICP that helps them do better in life and earn job skills and money. And then another way prison companies have changed the prison system for its own benefit is that prison companies use the specification of prison labor as punishment because of the 13th Amendment, so that they don't have to pay prisoners higher wages. So Chris Subbernin in his article "Policing and Punishment for Profit" has mentioned that prisons have taken advantage of this exception, which is the 13th Amendment, as well as being able to deduct up to 80% of earned wages to account for costs of room and board. So prison companies, imagine this, you have the minimum wage, probably like $10. Prison companies be like, $10, well, let me just deduct 80%. And he didn't mention how much it was the cost, but like, I can't do that. And Chris has also mentioned that one loophole in the prison system is that all prison laborers working as part of the FPI are considered to be volunteers. So prison workers think that they're doing the job. They're like, oh yeah, I'm working. But then in the FPI's website or the FPI, well, the FPI considered them to be volunteers. And because the FPI labeled them as volunteers, they don't get the money that they deserve, even though they're doing jobs that are considered they look like jobs. So for my second claim, I'll be arguing that slavery and prison labor are not the same. So for my first claim, there are differences between slaves and prisoners. Slaves are property. According to Paul Finkelman's article, "Slavery in the U.S., Persons of Property," he talked about a court case called Prigg versus Pennsylvania in 1842, and that court case confirmed that slaves, because slaves are considered property under their masters, they don't have any personhood. They're not people. Prisoners, however, even though they're not full-on citizens, they have rights. In the textbook, prisoner rights, prisoners have the 8th Amendment, the First Amendment, freedom of speech, and equal protection clause, which is that the state must treat the individual with the same manner as others in similar conditions and circumstances. And unlike slaves, prisoners also have access to basic entertainment and conditions within the prison, such as food, clothing, shelter, recreation, medical care. Have you heard of slaves getting medical care? Me neither. And safety. And lastly, there are differences between slave and prisoner conditions. Prisons must comply with local, state, federal, and international laws when housing and treating prisoners, such as the Nelson Mandela Rules, which was created by the United Nations, and our very own Constitution. Yay. Slavery conditions, however, there are no strong enforced laws to control masters over the slaves. The masters can do whatever they want with their slaves because they're property. According to another article, living conditions of slaves in the American South, the living conditions of slaves in the American South are some of the worst for slaves across history. As legal property of their masters, they have no rights themselves and fared far worse than Roman slaves and medieval serfs. Big time gap line, but sounds pretty bad for me. And for my last major claim, there are a lot of barriers that restrict the U.S. government to change the Constitution itself. It can't be rewritten. David Long, in his article, Amending the U.S. Constitution by State-Led Convention, stated that the steps to either rewrite or change the Constitution involves 2 or 3 steps and about 2/3 vote in the Congress and 3/4 of the states. And he has mentioned that it is very time consuming, approximately about 7 years. Thank you.